on, Shaq?
What's the girls go
Just hanging in there. How about you? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. Had a good weekend. We did the Mother's Day thing. It was really dope.
Oh, right. Yes, Mother's Day.
Yeah, yeah. it was ill. My pops was a little sick the day before. We were like a little worried we wouldn't be able to get together, but he got better. And it was like a cool little moment. Usually, first my brother and I was beefing for like a year and a half over stupidness. We got better right around like Christmas.
Okay.
Good now, but this is like the first real family event we've been able to go to since.
All right.
My sister is at that age where she like is usually like, I don't want to do that. It sound boring.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll listen to me. So I talked to her like, yo, this is kind of dope. It's a family moment. You should come out. She
Mm-hmm.
put up no fight. She was down for it. She came through. I'm usually doing shows.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm being real. That's one of my faults. I'm quick to be like, yeah, I can't make it. I gotta go make this $20.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
my brother presented a good argument of like, yo, pops is sick, they getting older. You know what I mean? You should take the night off and come rock with us. And we sincerely like had a beautiful family dinner. The whole 8 of us got together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My parents, my siblings, myself, my wife, my kids, we all went out. We did a dinner. My dad has been like trying to do more family moments. He's feeling older and like I've been teasing him because he's been doing it's I love it because I get the budgeting reasons. My dad's always thinking about like we can't be spending crazy money. So we've been doing family dinners at Chipotle.
Look,
And I
it's so funny that you say that, Gastor. Gastor. Saw this a few days ago.
yeah.
There's a Chipotle in our neighborhood. There's a Chipotle on Broadway.
Yo, they coming.
Do you hear me?
Yeah,
Anyone
yo.
who knows the air Broadway,
They
not the
coming.
Broadway that they sing about.
Nah.
They ain't singing about this Broadway.
Not at all. Not at all. Not the same songs, at least.
Not the same song. Yeah. There are songs.
They're all songs. They have different sound effects in the background,
Yes,
too.
for sure. It is, from what I can tell, it is close to like the Gates J.
Yeah.
There's a Chipotle on I was with Courtney Farrington, and we were
Straight up.
driving by, and I'm in the middle of a sentence, and I saw it and said, hold on, there's a Chipotle on Broadway. And then
Real
my
talk.
brain just literally just powered down. And all I could do was, did you see that? Did you see that there's a Chipotle on Broadway?
Hell yeah.
And Courtney's like, yeah. And I'm like, but there's a Chipotle on Broadway. I mean, that doesn't seem, that's just, what?
It's wild times, yo. Watch, we're going to get a Panera Bread over there. It's over.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
agree.
nuts. That's
I'll
nuts.
take it. But it's wild.
No, nice to see you, but I don't know if you know where you ended up. But it's nice to see you.
Real talk. Okay.
I hope you do okay. Yes, exactly. I hope you do okay. I literally was like, I'm gonna go eat at that Chipotle before Broadway happens to it.
Yo, real talk. I've had a few comics where like they'll move to New York for stand up,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's admittedly that part of Bushwick was wild when I started when I was growing up.
Right.
Less wild, but still wild, even like 15 years ago.
Yes.
And like it's noticeably different now.
Right.
But at certain times, the old Bushwick come out.
Hey man, I know where I am. I definitely, I could see where times where I'm like, okay, things are kind of changing. I see it kind of happening with me not really knowing too much of the history.
Right.
All I have is my dad's old history of what the area
Yeah.
was like from what he knew. And then I'm like, "Okay, I guess things are changing a little," and then someone is shot, execution style on my block, and I went, "Maybe they're not changing too much."
Not too
And then
crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah, and then, like, the first couple of years of COVID, the block wasn't just hot, literally on fire, like, so much wild shit and an increase in and just like I was like, "Oh, okay. Okay, it's a hot corner over here. Got it." Got
Yo,
well, and
real
I
talk.
adjust. I've been on hot corners before. I've lived on corners before. But I was just like, "Yo, I feel for anybody who was trying to set up shop."
Real talk. It's work.
Yeah, like, I guess y'all thought this corner has not cooled down.
Not at all, baby. Real
No,
talk.
so that's why I'm like, I'm not surprised because it's, like, at the base of one of these new shiny buildings that was built,
Yeah.
but I also am like, "What?"
Yo, cause like like when I see that, a part of me is like, oh, you did this deal in bulk. Like
Right, yeah,
this
like
condo, yeah, like that building company sold 100 Chipotles at once.
right,
And they started building that
building a
Chipotle. Like, yo, you
building.
sure? Like,
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, it's just so, like, a Trader Joe's will never end up over here because Trader Joe's does a lot of research on
mhm.
the neighborhoods where they will put places, and they will, in certain neighborhoods, they will just stay in the neighborhood and have a Trader Joe's on all 4 corners of a street rather than move into a neighborhood that they're like, "Nah, I don't know." And I'm like,
Yeah, real
"Okay,
talk.
so I gotta keep traveling out to where you guys decide it's going to be, but I can't y'all can't just throw one." So, I mean, this Chipotle is here, but, I mean, a rundown Chipotle is still run fine, like a McDonald's, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it'll still rock. It'll be there.
It'll be fine, but
But real
anywho.
shot, them first few years that I was doing stand up, I would meet a comic at like an open mic or something
Mhm.
that like just moved to New York for stand up from some random city.
Right.
And over and over again, I would end up dropping them off over there.
Mhm.
And like there was one comic that moved from Canada and I met them at their first set and she still had like her luggage.
Oh my god.
She did a show with me at the what is now Easy Lover, but with the old name.
Oh, yeah, Legion.
Yeah, she did it. It was at Legion Bar. She was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I booked this. You know what I mean? I'm excited." And I'm like, "All right, this is not that big of a
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
Like,
no.
real talk. It's 12 people gonna be in it this spot. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's cool. You know what I mean? I'm happy for you."
Mhm.
She told me where she lived, and it was on Broadway.
Okay.
And this is like a decade back. And
Right.
I'm like, "Did you see it?" And she's like, "Yeah, I saw it online. I'm kind of just showing up." I was like,
Oh.
"All right, so you got this online on Broadway?" She's like, "Yeah, like, you know, I saw it was like a major street." I'm like, "It's a major street."
Yo, it's a major street.
Real talk.
It's a
It's
big street. Lots
real
of
talk.
stuff.
I was like, everything you need is there. Uh, I was trying to be positive. I was like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Its reputation precedes it for sure.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But like the show finished at like 11.
Oh,
You know what I
no.
mean? And like that's not crazy late, but first time on Broadway, you with luggage and
Yeah,
you
that's too
95
late. No,
pounds.
you can't do that while the sun is down.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, that's not the time for this. So I'm like, yo, I don't know you, but like, I'm gonna feel terrible if you try to take a train over there right now, homie.
Exactly.
Straight up. So I
Oh.
drove her to the place, and like, she like figured out, like she was lost, looking for her spot. I was like, yo, I had to wave her back. I was like, yo, leave your stuff in the car. Go
Right.
find your apartment. I can't have you lost on a sidewalk with 2
With
luggage
your
bags.
luggage. Oh.
Insanity. Most concerned I've ever been for somebody in my life that I do not like care about or know. Like and like the thing is, like I haven't seen her since. I don't even know if that was like like I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they made it. I don't know if they made it home.
Oh
Like
my
I
god.
waited. I know I waited and like on some concerned adult shit because like
Right.
I was like maybe 8, 10 years older than them at this point. I started staying up late, so I'm just
Mhm.
seeing a kid in New York trying to follow a dream, look super lost in
Mm.
like a neighborhood that I know is hot. You know what I mean? So I was like, so I waited till she went inside.
Right.
But like, I ain't seen them doing spots. It's been a decade.
Oh, no.
So I hope they good in life. My dream is that they went back to Toronto.
I hope so.
Real
I
talk,
hope
like,
the
yo, this ain't
next
for me,
day they were
mom.
like, "No." Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a nice, Mother's Day outing.
Yeah, I think it was necessary. It was a good time. Uh, I also because like I've been trying to get like my mom. My mom is retired now for like 3 years,
Mhm.
and I've been asking her like, "Yo, what are your dreams? What do you want to do?" And she like says like emo, shit like, "I just want to spend time with y'all," and I'm like, "That's not a dream, ma." Like,
It could be. It could be, honestly. As
yeah,
much
she's
as
selling me on
everybody
it. Yeah,
runs a as much as everybody runs around, it is a dream.
yeah, and that's what Gabby has made me realize. She's like, talk to me about it. She's like, "Yo, like, don't dismiss it. That's for real her dream." Because
Yeah.
it's like I've said this to mom. I was like, I think that's beautiful, but like you like, what did you think about before we were here? You know what I mean? Like, what was your dream before that? And she said, I don't know. I don't remember. I just know that these are my dreams. I want to
Yeah,
spend,
she was a different person then.
yeah. So she's like, I want to spend time with my family. I like seeing all of us together. So like,
Yeah.
she was giddy the whole time. I thought that was
Mhm.
dope. Sincerely, like, made my night.
That's great.
Real talk. It was
I,
cool.
uh, I stayed inside, I avoided the world, I think. I mean, I taught a class, but that don't count. And then, the following day at work, one of the superintendents, said, "Happy Mother's Day" to me, and, which honestly is a very common thing,
Yeah.
to women, at a certain age, and it's not even like a big age. Um, just guys are just covering their bases, and they're like, "Happy Mother's Day!" And so, but this guy definitely said it with his whole chest. He was just like, because he had been out of the building for a while, he for whatever reason, he knew he nailed it, and he was like, "Happy Mother's Day!" And I went, "No."
Nah, B.
And he was like, "It wasn't good?" And I said, "No, I'm not a mother." He's like, "No mother?" And I went, "Mm-mm, no."
Real talk. Purposefully.
Yeah, like, "Mm-mm, nah, that's not for me." And I think it also was not like a mournful, like, "Not yet," or anything like
Right.
that. It was like a, "Nope,
No, I'm good.
nah,
Real talk.
bruh."
I
Usually,
travel
I
too
would get
much.
it when I was walking my dog or something, and they'd be like, "Happy Mother's Day," and gesture at the dog, and I'm like, "Well, we don't really favor, but okay." Um But yeah, I was just like, "Nah, kid, go on and check the sprinklers like you said you would." Like, I don't even wanna get into that with you.
Amen. I didn't even say that's probably my favorite part. You just reminded me. I started the day at 8 o'clock in the morning because I deliver flowers to my mom and my mother-in-law.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? And Aiden woke up before me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, like, we got to go out." You know what I mean? And he was like, I finished my homework and I wanted to be ready to go." And he picked out the flowers.
Oh, he went with you to get the
Yeah,
flowers.
real talk. He knew I was gonna do it. He woke up early on his own and
Wow.
he got ready to go. He's like, "Yeah, like I know this is important." He's like, "It's a thing we got to do to show love to people that like show love to us all year."
So now he knows the super sneaky squirrel place you get the flowers from.
Real talk.
Oh,
He's
good.
a part of the system.
That's great, that's great. It was a matter of time
Real talk.
that he
And
learned that.
even negotiated flower prices.
Oh, wow.
Real
Well,
talk.
yeah, that's also a part of being your son, is that you
Real
gotta
talk. I was impressed. I was like, "Yo, my man," because like they gave us a number,
Mhm.
and like I gave him the cash, and I said, "Yo, say this," and he went over and said it. They said, "All right, cool." I was like, "Oh, you see, you good."
Oh, wow, okay, alright.
Real talk. It came out to 105, and I said, "Yo, just give him tell him you only got 100. You got 520s."
Okay.
You
Sure,
know, it's
yeah,
a
the
little
classic,
thing. I
"It's
ain't
all
trying to
I
get like,
got." Yeah,
yeah. I'm like,
you start from there. Mhm.
yeah. I'm like, it's baby steps. I ain't gonna have you over there like haggling. But I was so hyped. I was like, "Yo, that's fire. You go, my man." You just say, "Yo, right there." I was like, "Yo, you just bought yourself half a hero right there, yo."
Oh, wow.
Real talk. Oh man, let's get into the news.
Okay.
Google has a solution for those unpaid toll text scams.
Hmm?
That's right. The next time you're about to tap a text to resolve an unpaid toll balance, your Android phone may warn you to think twice. Google is updating its scam text detection technology to spot hoaxes like these, which are among the most common types of text related schemes, according to the Federal Trade Commission. The new scam detection will come as an update to Google Messages, the messaging app installed on most Android phones by default. Google Messages already monitors text for other types of popular ploys like fake job offers and bogus package theft alerts. It will start rolling out on Tuesday, as is just one of several Android updates Google announced ahead of its developers conference next week, along with cosmetic software changes and expansions of its Gemini AI helper to Android powered smartwatches.
Oh, that's what we don't want.
Try to sneak that by us. You saw that?
Yeah, oh, and also we are expanding, Gemini, and it will now, take over your whole brain. But anyway, we will let you know that the toll thing is a hoax. Yeah,
I already knew that.
we know if we've been through, a toll recently.
Yo,
We know where we've driven, we know what kinda thing like, it's at no p I just people, I feel like, for the most part, remember when they were on a road that they had to pay
yeah,
for the most part, or if not, every time. I mean, that happened to the bulk of New York City isn't so funny to me. I'm like, "Yeah, no, that wasn't us. We're
yo,
on the train.
that's what I'm saying.
Cut it out." But also, is this like on Apple when you get a phone call or something and it's like scam likely?
Mm,
If so, they're still a little behind on that.
yeah,
You know? Do they not get scam likely or possible spam or something like that? I
yeah.
at
I
least
don't
get
pick up none of
those.
them joints.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. The problem is the Gemini AI. That's the problem. Let's
I
see if we
agree.
let's see if we could curb that. That's the issue.
Like what I found weird is that like essentially they were like announcing that they're gonna keep doing the thing they're already doing. They're like,
W
where we already spot the other hoax. We just letting you know we're gonna start spotting this hoax
I
too.
mean, yeah, I feel like they're like, "Oh, yeah, a word is there's a toll, hoax out there. We're gonna take care of that like the others." And it's like, "Yeah, that was, like, late last year those started. Like, what are we talking? Stop
Yeah,
them closer to the root. Don't tell us it's been months. We already don't answer those.
yeah, just stop it.
Just stop them. If you see if it moves like a hoax, if it walks and talks and quacks like a hoax, go on and just cut it out.
Real talk.
If it's real, they'll call again.
That's it. They'll
Yeah,
text. They'll
yeah.
say, yo,
They'll
my bad.
text, they'll do which by the way, everybody, I just hope we all know that the IRS doesn't call you or text you.
Yeah, nah.
Just so you know, in case you didn't know, that's not how they send you a letter. It's far more antiquated than a call or a text. You think they are updated enough at the IRS to fucking text you? Get out of here. They will send your ass a letter, but ain't nobody calling you.
At
So
all.
know that and tell your elders that so that when
Yeah.
they get a phone call and they're like, "I'm calling from the IRS." Tell the older people, tell them all, just be like, "Oh, word, I can't talk now. Give me a number and I'll call you back." And the other side will just hang up. They won't even fucking like, "Nah, I ain't doing that." So, just know it's not true. But this toll, toll booth scam thing has been going on for too long for them to be like, "We're gonna handle it now." Man, where have y'all been?
Too late. Too late. If this would have been like 15 years ago, I'd have been tight because you wasted my messages.
Yeah, I know.
Rolling over my singular Texas.
That's insane.
Mm-mm. In
Nights
other
and weekends. We don't have time for this shit.
in other news, TGI Fridays changed 85% of its menu.
85% of its menu? That's excessive. I'm not even fucking around. That's a lot of menu. Hold
Real
on.
talk. Is that the same restaurant at this point?
I
Like,
know. What
would you
what's the
keep water?
issue?
Yo, TGI Fridays, toiling in bankruptcy and dealing
Oh,
with. Okay, I mean that's a good reason.
okay, well, that's fine, fine.
Dealing with a steady pace of closures perhaps is a simple solution for it all. Better food. Yo, CNN getting spicy.
I know, but remember when
Yo.
Domino's was like, "Okay, here's what we did. We made better food, better pizza." Huh? You wanna try us now? We know it was bad before.
My bad. You're right.
So maybe TGI Fridays is trying to do the same thing.
The TGI Fridays is rolling out a revamped menu in its US restaurants which includes more mozzarella stick options, upgraded steak and chicken, a new signature sauce, as well as visually appealing cocktail lists to appeal to the TikTok generation.
Wait, more mozzarella stick options?
Yo,
What else are we doing to mozzarella sticks? What are we I may have to go to a newfangled TGI Fridays
real
because
talk,
I
shot.
feel like you just make mozzarella sticks, and I think that they sell themselves maybe?
Yo,
But what do we do? Are we making them pretzel shaped? What are we doing to
ooh,
the mozzarella stick?
low key, I'm kind of into that.
I know. I mean, the only thing I can think of if you make medallions, like a star shape, you know what I mean? Like a chicken nugget, but instead of it being a
Oh,
chicken, it's mozzarella that's
can,
fried in little shapes like dinosaurs or stars or some shit.
can you change the breading?
I mean, what do you mean, like for flavor?
Yeah, I'm not a
Maybe
mozzarella stick person, so I don't know like what's the like selling point of the mozzarella stick to most people.
that it's fried cheese.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so the breading is just it's a very simple breading. It's not I mean, maybe there's already a little bit of seasoning in it,
Yeah.
or but I'm thinking they sprinkle, like, some salt or Italian seasoning or something on the top of it, or Parmesan cheese on top of the mozzarella cheese, you know,
Ah,
and then, but then they give you, like, a marinara type sauce to dip into,
okay.
and then
So
the fun is just that it's fried mozzarella, and mozzarella's already kinda pulley, so it's like, you know, pulling and having all the cheese, and that's great for kids, so that's why I'm like, are we gonna put them in, like, you know,
ah,
like SpongeBob SquarePants shapes or character shapes or something?
real talk shot. I know I would have got there on my own. I didn't connect that it was mozzarella in the mozzarella stick. Mozzarella. I thought it was just any cheese because that's that.
Oh,
My next thought was like, can I mix up the cheeses? But then I was like,
okay.
nah, it wouldn't be mozzarella sticks anymore.
There you go. I knew you'd
Yeah,
get there. I knew you'd get
yeah,
there.
I get that. I don't eat
Mhm.
them, so like it's not my first thought. But because like with a fried cheddar stick, be good.
Um, might not be as fun to eat, and because I don't know if cheddar does that pull like
The pull,
mozzarella does.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Ah,
I think that's why. Like, when you think of those little cheese sticks that aren't even fried, that are just, like, for kids to
right.
eat, I think it's mostly mozzarella, maybe a little cheddar on the inside.
Right, like polio or like what is it? Polio.
Yes.
Not those are the diseases, right?
Polio is the disease, yes.
It's something like that. Polio. I know I'm
I
close.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're
Yo,
talking
listen,
about.
I know I'm not crazy. It's something with like a polio,
I'm going to
and I
look
feel
up
like there was like a bird involved.
hold on, I'm looking up what you could possibly
I feel like I
polio
remember like
cheese sticks. No, you
right,
know, um, polio,
yeah,
it like, I think it's spelled P like the name Polly.
poly. There you go. And it was like,
Polly dash O, polio string cheese. So string cheese is usually mozzarella cheese because that's the fun one.
gotcha.
So all they do is just fucking fry those. They bread them and fry it. And I mean, look, have you had mozzarella sticks? Like,
Nah, like only time I eat mozzarella is on like a sandwich or pizza.
oh yeah, no, if you I mean, if your body can take just straight up cheese to the dome, it's good. Like, it's fatty, but man, a nice fried mozzarella stick and then you know, too sweet, the marinara that's too sweet, it's good stuff. It's
Huh.
definitely the kind of thing that you and your high school friends will eat, will share like a giant platter of when you go to TGI Fridays after a football game or for homecoming or whatever the fuck.
Huh.
Yeah.
Shots, yo, I'm gonna give it a shot. We've touched 85% of the menu, including improving the quality and cooking methods, as well as getting back to hand breading our chicken fingers and doing things that we've always been known for, like hand cutting steaks.
Oh,
So
okay,
they've been
so
known for it, but weren't doing it. Like,
so what were they using before if all of a sudden the turn is back to hands?
oh my god.
Was there just a machine back there cutting up steaks?
Oh man. Within his first 100 days on the job, Blanchett wanted to make no regret moves with the menu. That meant leaning into what fans are familiar with, notably appetizers, meats, and cocktails, plus
Okay,
hopefully attracting Gen Z eaters that crave different flavors.
okay.
I'm
What
trying to
do
see, like,
Gen Z eaters crave? How do we know? Because
yeah,
here's the thing about Gen Z eaters. Do they eat that nasty shit that they put on on
yo,
TikTok? They just be piling stuff on so that it looks like I don't know if that's supposed to look appetizing, stuff coming out on the sides, and there's everything's just being squeezed through a tube and like, ugh.
listen, I'm famously known for liking sandwiches.
Yes.
Love sandwiches.
Mhm.
Okay, just because it's more does not make it better.
Thank you.
Yo, y'all getting out of hand with this shit now. Like,
I know.
you gotta be able to eat it. Like, at some point,
Can I bite into it? Can I
yeah,
bite into it? I can't.
y'all
I
getting
can't.
out of pocket. Be like, those are separate flavors. They don't belong together.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. They're just
Balance.
putting a lot of stuff together, it doesn't make sense. So I
Mm-mm.
mean, I guess we could try to appeal to the TikTokers, but what do they know? They're children. They're children.
Yo,
Whatever.
they got a new list of drinks, cocktails.
Okay.
They're called the Elite, the Friday Rita, the
What?
Late Checkout, Turbo Toro, Tito's Thunderbolt, Jake's New Fashioned, and the Strawberry Henny.
What the fuck? Hold on, let me see these.
That's
Oh,
right.
wow, look at these. Yo, it's about what's a strawberry Henny? That
Real
already
I'm
look,
in. That's
I'm
they
in.
got me.
Strawberry Henny? Come on.
I'm in.
I already told you I gotta put a Snapple in it if it's alcohol, so
Yo,
if y'all
real
already did
talk.
that for me, let's go.
When I that was the last one on the picture. I scrolled down for that. I was like, okay, y'all won. Y'all got me
Yeah,
there.
nah, people gonna be, oh, y'all just gonna make them fucked up, and then you're gonna need the cheese. See, that's
Yeah.
why you need the cheese
That
to
rest
soak
of the
up.
menu won't matter. Like,
Yeah.
you three strawberry hennies in. I don't care what you selling. Yo.
Wow, okay, so this is a thing I don't think I realized. It says, TGI Fridays got its start in 1965 in Manhattan as a place for singles to meet each other. It was one of
Oh.
the first major chains to popular popularize the happy hour concept. So that's
Oh.
why they are going back to these big ass drinks. Alright. So, okay. So Jack's New Fashioned is a take on Jack Daniel's whiskey cocktail that
Okay.
switches out the orange for black cherry. I guess an old fashioned is a whiskey with orange or something? I don't know.
Oh.
Um, a new Long Island iced tea called the Elite that mixes vodka, gin, rum, and orange liqueur, lemonade, and a splash of Coca-Cola. Ugh, that don't sound like nothing but a headache.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounded great to me, actually. I'm with that.
there's also a stronger strawberry Henny, which has Hennessy, and a splash of Grand Marnier,
Yo.
and strawberry Hey, now look, I don't drink, but you speaking my language, I will get fucked up on
Real talk.
strawberry
That's
Henny.
so me.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
That is beautiful.
Mm,
Real talk. Well done, TGI Friday. That's a rebrand.
yeah.
I'm with that. They gonna get my money. Finally, Southwest Airlines passenger allegedly strips naked and poops on a plane.
I mean,
Pardon me,
okay.
plane seat during the flight. That's right.
Whoops.
Ears aren't the only thing popping on the
Okay, you
Southwest
know
Airlines.
what? What is this? Whose news is this? Whose newsman's is this?
Yo, shoot your shots, yo. You don't get a lot of chance to be silly at work, yo. I love that for you, yo. Whoever it is that wrote this, beautiful, man.
Oh my god.
The station reported that a police and medical crews were called to meet a passenger after flight 418 from Philadelphia landed in Chicago's Midway Airport after one of its passengers allegedly stripped naked and defecated on her seat. Passenger reportedly took off their clothes before pooping on the seat, forcing the plane to be taken out of service.
Were they going to go to Chicago anyway?
I want to say no. I feel like the plane flight got cut. No, yeah, flight from Philadelphia to Chicago.
All right.
I mean, yeah, it
Well,
still made it.
I mean, yeah, you can't be too mad. Like, if that's where you were headed, yeah, it's not exactly how you wanted to get there, but, it is also Southwest. I mean, it's
Eh,
Southwest has been changing. Maybe that's why she did it, because she's mad. Like, Southwest used to be, your first checked bag was free.
right.
They changed that. Now you gotta pay to check your bags. I think you have to pay to change any flight stuff before you could change your flight for free. And I think they now have assigned seats. If they're not doing it yet, they are supposed to do it soon. Whereas their whole thing was no assigned seats.
Huh.
Yeah. So, perhaps she was like, "You know what? If you guys had just let me pick my own seat instead of putting me in a place I would have picked the seat closer to the bathroom or all the way in the back." One of
Real talk.
um,
I do this for y'all.
yeah, that's the reason why I fly this. But, I mean, I guess look, all the planes, I think we can say all the planes are going through it right now. All the air
When you see somebody losing their mind, I see somebody protesting.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know
That's
what I mean?
all. Now, if she put a cute little doll-sized protest sign in the turd, that would be funny.
Yo,
Eh
that's kind of fire.
yeah, if after she did it, just, "Viva la revolution" or something, like, that would be great.
Do you got to stay in your seat if you
What,
sit
when
next
someone
to them?
does that?
Because like you still got to like buckle your seat. Like if you're the
Oh,
seat next to them, they shit on the seat. But now
uh-huh.
we like, yo, we got to land the plane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would depend on how full the, flight is,
Right.
uh, but it's possible. I mean, I'm wondering, now that you've taken off your clothes and you've pooped, where do you sit?
Yeah.
You're like, "We gotta clean that up naturally, but also we gotta put you somewhere until
Yeah.
we get down."
She
So,
stays naked, I assume, too, right? Like you can't put on her clothes on the plane.
I mean, it depends on how fast she's moving.
Right.
I mean, if she could get out, if she's stripped naked, first off, if she's stripped naked, I'd have to say that must have been a very, messy poop.
Yeah.
You
Real
know how
talk.
yeah, it like anytime you go into the bathroom and you have to take your shirt off to poop, we know we in there for a long haul. You know what I mean? We are bearing down. We are starting to pray. We are there. We're speaking. We're speaking in tongues. It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a multi flusher for sure.
I take my
So,
hat off every time I poop.
oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Automatically. Like I take my hat off.
that's respectful.
Yeah, like nah, we about to do work here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let me take this off. You don't want to be here for this.
I hang it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so but I'm guessing if it's a full flight and they manage to catch this woman and hold her down, although, I mean, like, do you just leave the shit on the seat until you land, or do
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
clean it
saying. You
off?
can't
Like,
clean that during the flight. Like,
yeah, I mean,
cause like real talk, if I'm like I'm by the same token, I guess Southwest doesn't do a lot of that, like food and stuff and drinks.
no, no, they
Right.
up until very recently, they still serve peanuts on the flight, which means if anyone opened a bag of peanut, the whole thing smelled like peanuts. I was like, "Wow, y'all don't give a fuck about anyone's allergies, huh?" I mean, recent, like just before COVID. So like 5 years ago, they were still doing peanuts.
Yo, that's fire, yo. Real talk.
It is. I mean, I was like, My God, you don't care. But I noticed that the whole cabin smelled like peanuts, and I was like, "Someone's gonna die in here tonight. Like, this is
Yo,
insane. You can't do this."
yo, they got like signs outside like, yo, we like five guys in the sky. Okay, we keeping all of this in here, yo.
Yeah, just like, "Hey, you may not wanna fly. You got an allergy? Because
Yeah, nah,
we
this ain't for
really
you.
kinda don't give a fuck. So, you may wanna see about changing changing airlines
Yeah,
because
that's
we."
some weird company philosophy over there, yo. Be like, you want to help the customers? Nah, I really like peanuts. Okay,
I really yeah, we bought these we gonna make it through all these peanuts.
yo. But like, I'm thinking like, as a customer, if you
Mhm,
serve me food or drinks, I
mhm.
don't care how much you clean your hands. You can't serve me if I saw you clean shit.
No, yeah, no, you are officially on shit duty.
Yeah, you shit the rest of the flight.
Yeah, right.
So like, you losing staff members.
Yeah, I mean, that's a safe bet. You are losing a staff member.
Man.
But I mean, I don't know how else you could hey, if anyone out there is a flight attendant, has been or is currently, holler at us. Let us know what you do in times of, like this. Like if someone messes up, because I mean, they have barf bags,
Yeah,
but what do you do? Do you put on 2 pairs of gloves and then just scrape that into a barf bag and then put it in a biohazard? Like, what do you do with blood or poop on a plane? How do you get rid of that?
right.
But yeah, no, I imagine if it's a full flight, no matter what they did with the crazy woman who shat on the seat, y'all are still gonna have to stay buckled in until it's I mean, you're gonna get a voucher.
Yeah, we
I
gonna
ain't
get
doing
that
that
state
without a
outfit.
voucher. If there's
Real
no
talk.
place to move them, then yeah, Imma need
Yo,
Imma need hella vouchers
real talk. I'm gonna need
for
a new
all
school
the other
outfit. Yeah,
airlines, not just I don't need no Southwest voucher. I need, like, British Airways vouchers.
real talk. I'm never flying again.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. If anyone's a flight attendant that listens, I'd like to know how
Mhm.
often does stuff like this happen.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like, is this a once every year, like wild story thing? You know what I mean? Like, I think certain job, like for example, if you're like an ER like doctor, I
Mhm.
think you get a wild story every week.
Right, right,
You
right.
know what I mean? And I think depending on the job, that ratio swings up and down.
Mhm.
I'm curious about like flight attendants. Where's that ratio at for them? You know what I mean? I'd love
Mhm.
to know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
let us know, with or without bodily,
Yeah, just
fluids
the
involved.
wild thing in general. You know what I mean? I'd be
Because, I
curious.
mean, you are still dealing with people who are very nervous.
Yeah.
No, but as much as we all fly and we're like, it's a part of what we do, there are people who are for sure nervous. I'm nervous the whole time, but I'm trying to seem cool or I'm trying to go to sleep. But yeah, there are plenty of people. I see plenty of people like tense up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what happens when one of them snaps? And fuses are short right now. So what happens when a few people snap? I mean, sure, we're getting some video, but some things might be happening that you're like, "Ooh, okay,
Right.
we all agree not to tape that, right?" You know?
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to know more about that whole space in general. Like, when do you tell the captain? Like, to do flight?
Right,
Because like, I'm on some like, yo, don't tell him shit because he flying. You know what I
right,
mean? Keep his head clear. You know, we managing
sure.
it. But then also, I don't know if he's like the head decision maker. And like,
Well,
that's
I
part of
feel
the
like you
job.
have to tell them because they gotta communicate with the powers
Right.
that be, like, "Hey, we gonna need a cop and a robe as soon as we land. We're gonna need 2
Yo,
cops and a gurney." You
real
know?
talk. I'm rethinking the whole flight thing now.
What do
I
you
feel like
mean?
because it should function like a sports team where like the things the quarterback knows is different than what the head coach should know. So like the pilot should be the quarterback. Like you go out there, you fly this plane,
Mhm.
but like you shouldn't know all the chaos necessarily about the team.
Right, but if whatever chaos is happening back in the cabin means that it needs to be handled as soon as we land,
Right?
the flight attendants aren't talking to air traffic control. They're not talking to the airports.
Right.
The pilots are. So you gotta give them that information. And also I feel like a pilot, it feels like it's like a captain of a ship where like they wanna know what's happening.
Right. But it don't help them.
Well,
I argue there should be a separate person on the flight, not in charge of flying, just to communicate with air traffic control.
nah, I mean, I think that's part of what makes it being a pilot hard. It's that you gotta communicate and also be calm. Because I mean, like, look, if if, the captain sometimes the pilots will make, like, their announcements or whatever,
Yeah.
as soon before the takeoff and landing. So, if landing, I hear we haven't heard the captain at all, and I hear the captain click on, and he's like, "Hey, man, I didn't know what was going on back there." Yo, they just told me. That's wild. Anyway, let me see if I can get this down a little bit fast. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like,
Yo,
the fuck?
for real? Yo,
How
that's
you
yo, my
just
bad.
finding out that we are covered in shit? You know what I mean? Like, he should know. They should know.
Real, it's fresh up here. I didn't let y'all come in. My bad.
My bad. Woo, y'all having a rough one, huh? Anyway, let me go on and land this plane right quick. Like, no, I'd want him to be briefed throughout if it's something that will affect what happens when they land.
Okay, you selling me on that. I can see
Yeah, I
that.
think so. I think that's best. I don't think the door to the cockpit should open and the captain come out and go, "God damn, what happened?" I don't think that's wise. I don't think that's wise.
Oh man. If you would like
Hmm.
to fly on Gastor's new airline where the pilots are not informed of crazy shit happening back there. Okay? They keep a clear mind. They're focused on the flight only. All right. You know they're gonna land higher percentage. Okay.
There's already a co-pilot.
So that one of the two of them shouldn't know.
I feel like
Just focus on the flight.
okay, maybe I'll give you this. The co-pilot should know, but they decide how much to tell the captain.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
But
like
I still think that the pilot should know. I think both pilots should know.
this is like if you playing the
Mhm.
game 7, you know what I
Right.
mean? You about to win the championship, okay? And your girlfriend says, "Yo, we breaking up."
Mhm.
All right? She blasts it on Twitter,
Okay.
okay? Do
Right.
you tell the player during the game or do you wait till after the game? I feel like you do it after the game because you don't want to affect how he's performing during game 7. So that's my logic. Like with the flight, like that shit information, that sucks. But
Right.
that ain't gonna help me fly this plane.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think it's going to help them when they land. Look, if you
And that's
land
why the
this
separate
plane
person,
and you roll up on it or you're told, "Hey, y'all gotta go to a different gate." Oh, okay. You roll up and there's like siren there's whoop whoop. And you're like, "What is that? Is that from me?" Like, you gotta know. You gotta know. I feel like you need to know just a little like, I feel like you need to keep them.
oh man. All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you were Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars, you want to be on Shalewa's distracted pilot airline. You
I'm
know what
not
I
saying
mean?
they're distracted.
They telling
I'm
them all
saying
types of
they're
shit. You know what I
they're
mean?
a
Do
good enough
flying.
pilot that they can work through that.
Dude, I don't want my flight. Yo, you heard Kendrick just dropped a new disc? Word?
No.
That's crazy, yo.
I
Wait,
feel like that's unless he's on the cabin, that don't matter.
yo, patch that through. I want to hear that. Put it on my left ear only, though. You know?
That could be happening, honestly. That could already be happening.
oh man, 5 stars. You see why distractions could be a problem. Okay, real talk. You fly this. Gas stores, worry-free skies.
Worry free. Okay.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. With all that said, I am the soon-to-be billionaire airline owner, Gastor Almonte.
Hmm.
Real talk. All my flights are distraction free for the pilots. You know you good. their cell phones get turned off. That little airplane thing on your phone, we actually
Mhm.
use it for our pilots. You know what I mean? With the admittedly better informed, but they crash more often.
No, we don't. No, we
They're a
don't.
lot
We
older.
make everybody use the bathroom before they get on the plane. I don't have to go. Try. Like my mother would say, try.
Real talk.
You'd be surprised.
And also, on my flight, you get more stories.
Do
You know
you?
what I mean? Oh yeah. Yo, you heard somebody shit on themselves on the plane?
No,
Yeah, but we
see, that's what
landed.
I'm saying. I don't want that story. You're insane. I can't wait to see how people vote.
But they landed, right? They landed? Yeah, so
I
we
mean,
good. You know what I mean?
you're
Shalewa
gonna
told the pilot they landed in the water. Okay?
no.
My dude made
He's
it to
trying to
Chicago.
rinse the shit out. I'm not. That's not true. No, I think y'all see the better way. I think
Real
y'all
talk.
see the better way.
I got you to Chicago. I killed somebody with peanuts, maybe. Okay? But we made it, okay?
Oh man.
Catch y'all next time. Peace.